Welcome to the Feel Good Cave with wellbeing dude Theo Tomlinson. Yes, welcome to the Feel Good Cave. I am Theo Tomlinson, and you're listening to or watching the new improved Feel Good Cave, now also available on video as well as audio. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello, you can see my face. And this week, in this episode, I would like to talk about how, as humans, as people in life, we all need each other. I have been out of action on the coaching, well-being, sharing front, and the podcast has been a bit dormant for a few months, so any dedicated listeners, thanks for your patience. Well, I have been focusing on my own mental health and taking care of my head during some turbulence at the beginning of this year, a bit of a downturn, and sometimes we all need to take a bit of time out to take care of whatever it might be. So coming on today, I've been meaning to catch up with the podcast for a while now. It's been nearly a couple of months since I was in hospital for a couple of weeks, and I've been doing a lot better and very well. You may be pleased to hear. But today's episode was partly prompted by a voice message, in fact, from a dear friend and coaching colleague, peer in 3PGC and Heartfelt Presence. And it was a message to say that I was missed, that they were missing me, and I was very, very touched and moved by a very clear message expressing that's those feelings of missing, needing, longing for somebody, and there's been a song which has been one of my favourite new songs this year by an artist called Emily Barker, titled Strange Weather, and the chorus of that song states how we all need each other. It's a beautiful song. I recommend you go and hear her music. And so I've been reflecting on this, what seems to me an unmistakable, unmissable fact that we're all connected. One can't walk down the street without being affected by other people. If somebody fell over at a bus stop and was hurt, naturally, I'm probably gonna feel inclined to want to help that person, or feel some somewhat affected, and we all need each other. The person at the checkout in the supermarket, in order to purchase my goods, I need somebody to serve me there. And I was reflecting on how I need the people in my life who I may be able to serve. So in the hope that anyone listening to this podcast might benefit from tuning in, from sharing in the exploration of insight into well-being, into feeling good. And I just want to backtrack to the title again, just to revisit for a moment the title of this podcast, The Feel Good Cave. It seems to me that, and again, this has been triggered by a conversation in Heartfelt Presence, which is a free Zoom-based coaching service, a 24/7 platform, open to anybody, where you can log on to the Zoom room at heartfeltpresence.org, and benefit from free coaching to sit and listen or share on or off camera. And I host there, I volunteer twice a week at the moment, and during one of those recent sessions, a guest in the room started a conversation about how we all seek a good feeling. And the question was, is everyone the same on basically wanting to feel better, especially if they're in pain, whether emotional or physical or otherwise? Do we all share that basic fundamental instinct to want to feel better, to feel good? And we were pretty much in agreement in the room that that we all share that kind of fundamental desire to feel good. And some people might say that that's not true, that they don't want to feel good, but even in seeking, if somebody claimed to seek to feel worse or to feel bad, that really the notion there would be that they would be feeling better by achieving that goal. So assuming that we all want to seek a good to feel good and not to feel bad, the Feel Good Cave is a podcast to explore how we naturally come to feel good, and how in life, in psychology, in society, and in medical areas, we tend to um, get mixed up, and there can be a lot of misunderstandings as to how um, we get better, feel better in life. And generally, the main assumption or misunderstanding that we overlook often is that our good feeling, our feeling better in life, can come from outside of us. So from other people, from a relationship, from a job, satisfaction, from our bank account, from our car that we drive, or our circumstances in life, day to day emotions, or physical or otherwise. And whilst those things are all involved, and things happen in life, we experience life completely, the ups and downs, and it's like so it's not denying that these things, external, things in our life make a difference, the circumstances and all that, but it's pointing to what I want to do with this podcast is point to how we feel in life comes to us from the inside out through the power of thought, through and when I say thought, I mean thought with a capital T. So the power of thought, rather than the content of our thinking, being what brings our experience to life, what colours, what puts the paint on the canvas of our experience of life. So I'll go into that more another time, but so where does well-being, where does feeling good come from? And what I explore in this podcast is that it comes from within, from our natural state. It's our natural birthright to feel well-being, and to be healthy, and to have common sense, and to have a compass to navigate through life. And so this comes from an exploration of the three principles, psychological, spiritual principles, as taught by an enlightened welder and theosopher named Sydney Banks. And so that's that, just to go over that. And especially if you're new to the Feel Good Cave, and so what's interesting to me is that whilst life seems to happen from the inside out, and I understand more and more as I see this in play in my own life, that how I feel and my well-being is not dependent on my circumstances everything that's going on in the news or any of that, but on my state of mind, my kind of where the ground of my consciousness, my awareness, is at any time, and the level of the quality of my thinking in my life, and but what is it about this interconnectedness of life, the fact that we seem to rely on each other and are all connected, and I don't really have an answer to that. What I do see is that the universe and life is unfolding, for me, only sort of available from my own consciousness, from my set of eyes, and I'm creating the reality that I see through the lenses that I wear, the kind of thinking that I see life through. And yet at the same time, everybody else on the planet is doing the same thing and seeing a slightly different reality to the one that I'm seeing. And we're coexisting, and I wouldn't be here talking to you if it wasn't for somebody that made this laptop, this microphone, this webcam, and this chair, this room, and this software, and all of that stuff, and the device that you're listening or watching this on. And if it wasn't for each other, we wouldn't have a reason to exist, really. And what feels important to me brings meaning to my life. Actually changes things for me based on the way that I think about what's important to me. And I want to keep this episode as an open exploration, and just as a really just opening the line of inquiry, and offering the reflection in that sense of connection with each other, and the notion that we need each other, and that I was reflecting earlier that the friends in my life, I appreciate sometimes feeling valued, and I know that I value my friends and like to show them that, and I like to see that too. And so I seem to, it's important to me to seek out those kind of friendships, and clearly in the way this friend and fellow coach reached out to me with a passionate voice message, explaining how they missed me and value me. It's well, we're all here for each other, and my gift is just going for it with this podcast today. Is one of the ways in which I connect and I can need and be needed in the world. And what do I mean by that word need? Is it a need like I think we can have varying degrees of need. We need water and air and food to survive. But we could also say that we need connection and music and to work and to live in function in society, and that sometimes we need to sing or shout or go outside or drive somewhere or go for a walk, and so I use that word need very lightly, and I just want to keep it short and sweet. I've already gone over 20 minutes on this episode, and but it's really nice to be back sharing with you, and I think in a way I feel I haven't said an awful lot in this episode, but less is more, and hopefully it's brought you some sense of good feeling and a little bit of insight and inquiry into how good feeling is, I believe, all we need in order to have a better life. If I know where my good feeling comes from, and that it comes from within me, and from this mind that is working through me, then I may be affected by things. I may hear the news and be saddened by things, or even feel depressed at times. But if I know that my good feeling doesn't rely on those things, doesn't depend on those things, and though I need other people in my life and to connect, but essentially I know that my good feeling, where that comes from, then I feel I have the key to a good life, a better life, simply, ordinarily, and just through seeing a few misunderstandings, seeing through stuff that I don't need to hold on to. And thanks for tuning in today. This is the Feel Good Cave, and I'm Theo Tomlinson. Take care. See you next time. You've been listening to The Feel Good Cave with Theo Tomlinson. If you liked this episode, please like, share and subscribe. You can find me at wellbeing words on Instagram and other social media. Have a beautiful day.